Title: The Howl of Moonridge. The small town of Moonridge lay nestled between dense, looming forests and jagged mountains. Whispered tales of the old woods thrummed through the town, tales of things that howl at the moon. The townsfolk took pride in their lore, but for 17-year-old Mia, the stories were little more than an evening thrill to ward off the dullness of rural life. It was the last week of October, and the air was thick with the scent of damp leaves. Mia's friends, Jamie and Tyler, convinced her to join them on an overnight camping trip deep in the woods. "It'll be fun," Jamie had insisted, her eyes sparkling with excitement. Just a couple of tents and the full moon. What could go wrong? Mia shrugged off her unease as they loaded their gear into the car, the stories flitting through her mind like shadows. She dismissed them. Just local folklore, she thought. A group of teenagers, a campfire, and a shared sense of adventure promised an unforgettable night. As they arrived at an open clearing surrounded by towering pines, the sun dipped low, painting the sky in brilliant oranges and purples. They set up their tents, anxious laughter bouncing off the trees, their minds lost in the thrill of locations unknown. Once night fell, they huddled around the campfire, recounting tales of the forest. "Do you remember the one about the werewolf?" Tyler said, his voice low and mischievous. The flames crackled, casting eerie shadows on the trees. "Legend has it," he continued, "that a beast with fur as dark as midnight roams these woods, waiting for the full moon. They say it can take the form of any animal you love, it can mimic your voice, it will lure you into the woods and then—" He let the sentence hang in the air for dramatic effect. Mia felt a goosebumps ripple down her arms as Jamie laughed nervously. "Come on, that's just silly, it's just a story." She was trying to disguise her unease, but they all knew there was something unsettling in the air. They continued to share stories and roast marshmallows until Jamie suggested a night hike, propelled by adrenaline. "We can see the valley from the hilltop, and we'll all stick together. What do you say?" With Jamie at the front, Mia and Tyler followed closely behind. The dense trees, thick with shadows, loomed around them, and a sudden chill slunk up Mia's spine. She couldn't shake the feeling they were being watched. Halfway up the trail, they stopped to admire the sweeping view of Moonridge, dotted with houses like a children's toy. But as the moon slid into view, a howl pierced the night, a raw, haunting call that echoed through the forest. It felt primal and chilling. The laughter faded, replaced by an uncomfortable silence. "What was that?" Tyler whispered, his bravado quickly deflating. "Probably just a coyote," Jamie said, her voice less confident. "Right?" But even as she spoke, Mia could see the worry crinkling her eyebrows. They turned, intent on returning to the safety of the light, but before they could take 2 steps, something crashed through the brush. It moved so fast, darting past the trees, and when they glanced over, shadows danced in the moonlight. "Run!" Mia cried, pushing past Jamie and Tyler as a surge of instinct flooded her veins. They darted back towards their campsite, laughter replaced by panic and breathless shouts. As they stumbled back, the howl rang out again, closer this time, a deep, guttural sound that twisted their insides. They burst into the clearing, the campfire dimming and dying, casting them into darkness. Tyler fumbled with the lanterns, their hands trembling, while Mia grabbed a stick to bolster her confidence. The darkness felt alive, as if the forest around them breathed and pulsed. Suddenly, the howling grew louder, more guttural, encasing them in an otherworldly dread. Then, a shape emerged, a massive silhouette with gleaming eyes that pierced through the dark. The thing they saw was monstrous, yet it held a curious resemblance to something sacred, something they all recognized from their childhood, a wolf. It stepped forward into the light, and they could see the muscle rippling under its thick coat. Mia's heart pounded painfully in her chest as the creature's golden eyes locked onto her, unleashing a terror she had never before encountered. "What do we do?" Tyler stammered, his voice trembling. Mia's mind raced, recalling fragments of lore that spoke of recognition and choice. The beast approached steadily, sniffing the air between them. Then, in an uncanny moment, it let out a noise that was not a growl, but rather a sound that echoed Jamie's laugh. "Jamie?" Mia whispered, a horrible realization dawning on her. The wolf was toying with them, an ancient predator playing the role of a friend. In a surge of desperation, Mia threw the stick at the beast, more out of instinct than calculation. The creature snarled and retreated into the shadows, the noise echoing in the wind. "Back to the car, now," Mia yelled. They sprinted without glancing back. The howls rose around them, each one sending a chill down Mia's spine. The night seemed endless as they burst into the clearing where their car was parked. They fumbled with the keys, every second stretching out interminably. Just as the lock clicked and the doors swung open, they heard the echo of paw steps closing in, but in the chaos, they sped off into the night, leaving Moonridge, and its secrets, far behind. Days later, the stories continued to spread through town, heightened by a tragic disappearance. A boy from Moonridge vanished on the night of the full moon. Mia leaned against her bedroom wall, shivering at the thought of what lurked just beyond the woods. Perhaps the legends were more than just tales. Perhaps in the depths of those trees, something ancient and cursed roamed free. And every full moon, the howl of the night echoed like a forgotten lullaby, reverberating in her mind.